many cards can your dear opponent play if you stick an opposition agent on turn 1 in Timeless? That's what we're going to find out today. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and today we're heading to Timeless to try to get some fools with a turn 1 opposition agent. So let's talk about our opposition agent deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see the deck in action. So if you don't know opposition agent, the card that we're built around today, it's a card that's brand new on Magic Arena thanks to the Through the Omen Pass special sheet, and it is a notoriously brutal commander card. It's a 3-mana 3/2 with flash. This is you control your opponents while they're searching their libraries, and while an opponent's searching their library, they exile each card that they find, and you can play those cards for as long as they remain exiled and spend mana as well as mana of any color to cast them. So what this means in practice is if our opponent casts a Demonic Tutor and we flash an opposition agent, we get to Demonic Tutor through our opponent's deck, and then we still can cast whatever card we find. So that's part of the fun of opposition agent, but the real power of opposition agent in Timeless is it shuts down Fetchlands. If we flash this in response to a fetch land, not only will our opponent not get a land from their fetch, we'll get to get a land from their fetch, and we can play as our land drop the next turn. So the goal of this deck is to get opposition agent on the battlefield, hopefully on turn 1, and assuming our opponent's playing a fetch land deck, that might be enough to just win the game on the spot, because our opponent's not going to be able to get any mana from their fetches, and they won't be able to do anything. So how do we get oppo agent on the battlefield on turn 1? And for this, we need to talk a little bit about our mana base. So the easiest way is Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is just 1 mana, make 3 mana, even at instant speed, so we can still do the flash trick. So turn 1, we play a Swamp or Nurborg or whatever, and then just Dark Ritual, flash an oppo agent in response to the fetch land. We can also do it with Chrome Mox and Ancient Tomb. We can Chrome Mox, exile a black card, Ancient Tomb makes 2 mana, that gets us to 3 mana. So that's really the plan of the deck, is hopefully have a hand that can do this on turn 1, and then we just trust that our opponent's a fetch land deck. If our opponent's playing like mono red or something and not playing any fetch lands or any tutors, well, then opposition agent isn't great, but we can still win with the rest of our deck. So backing up opposition agent, we got Dauthi Voidwalker, also brand new to Magic Arena thanks to the special sheet, a 2-mana 3/2 with Shadow, so it's like super unblockable, and then it exiles all the stuff that goes into our opponent's graveyard, and we can even sacrifice it to cast one of the cards that it exiles for free. Orcish Bowmasters, you probably know this one, ping stuff, makes big armies, and then Barrowgoyf, just massive in death touching and lifelinking and generating card advantage as it hits our opponent in mills to fill the graveyard and grow itself and gets creatures back. So that's kind of our creature package. We also have a disruption package. So for this, we have Grief and Thoughtseize to pick apart our opponent's hand. We have Reanimate to combo with the Grief. So turn 1, we can like Grief you and do the scam thing. Grief you, take your best card, and then Reanimate Grief, take your second best card, and hope that you can't really do anything. It also synergizes really well with Voidwalker. If we have a Voidwalker, we can theoretically like Grief and take your Emrakul, and then you just cast your Emrakul for free with the Voidwalker. So a bunch of discard, Reanimate, Fatal Push to deal with creatures, and then the One Ring, because the One Ring's really busted. Plus, we get to make a lot of mana thanks to Ancient Tomb and Chrome Mox, so in theory, we could be One Ringing on turn 1 even in some matchups. As far as the sideboard, we have Graveyard Hate and Leyline of the Void, Duress for combo and control, Orcish Bowmasters, more copies for the card draw matchups, some removal in Shieldred's Edict and Toxic Deluge, Disruptor Flute to shut down Planeswalkers and opposing One Rings, and that is our turn 1 opposition agent deck for Timeless, and that's our deck for today. So let's jump into some games and see if we can make some opponents not play Magic at all by getting in with a turn 1 oppo agent. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. It is time to turn 1 some opposition agents, hopefully. We are going, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so we can't turn 1, but we do have an oppo agent, and we have a Thoughtseize. Okay, this hand's good. This hand's good. See what our opponent's up to, literally, with a Thoughtseize. Show and Tell, Mana Drain, Brainstorm. I really want to be greedy. There's also a decent amount of fetch lands in there. I want to be greedy and take, like, the Brainstorm, but I think we have to just take the Show and Tell. If our opponent's greedy, we might be able to get down the Bowmasters in response to the Brainstorm. Oh man, I wish we could oppo agent. Oh man, if we only had a Chrome Mox, oh, we would have got him so good. If they just fire off Brainstorm, this Bowmasters is brutal. Our opponent's just gonna get a Surveil land, gonna play it safe. Sure. I mean, I guess we just run this out so it doesn't get mana drained, and then they can't really Brainstorm until they find removal. I mean, that seems fine. Opponent passes. I mean, now if they play a fetch and we can get around the mana drain, we can flash in the Oppo agent and get them. Ouch. Okay, opponent. Well, when I said you can't cast the Brainstorm, I guess I didn't mean that. I guess I meant shouldn't, but opponent disagrees. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone just fire off a Brainstorm into an Oppo agent or into a Bowmaster before. Okay, opponent, gonna put some cards back on the top of their deck. We're gonna get down the Oppo agent so they can't even crack a fetch and get rid of their Brainstorm cards, and we're gonna get a bunch of damage and grow this Orc army. Yeah, opponent, no fear. I don't think I've ever seen anyone just be like, Bowmaster, sure, Brainstorm. But I guess there's a first time for everything in Timeless, opponent. Got to put back a couple cards. We are going to get 3 Bowmasters triggers. Ping ya. No, what, you got removal? Again. When I said couldn't Brainstorm, I don't know if I've ever been more wrong than that. Our opponent has proved me incredibly wrong on the can't Brainstorm theory. Brainstorm number 2. So we will take 6 Bowmasters triggers. Our Orc army will be up to a 7/7. You can't search your library, and opponent scoops it up, and I guess that was more a Bowmaster game than Oppo Agent game, but we'll take it. And trim probably the Fatal Pushes. Run it like that. I love Timeless. Man, do I love playing this format. It is some good, clean magic. No Oppo Agent, but we got a bunch of Dark Rituals. Yeah, let's ship it. Yeah, let's ship it. Oh, there's Oppo. There's Oppo Agent. Okay, that's what we're looking for. So we are on the draw. Man, if our opponent plays a fetch and leaves it and doesn't crack it right away, we can get them. We're going to put a Grief to the bottom. Okay, opponent. Show us a fetch land. Okay, Scalding Tarn. Yeah, so don't crack that. Oh my god, it's happening. Oh, opponent. Oh no, it's gonna get worse from the Brainstorming. Scalding Tarn crack. Well, Dark Ritual. And yeah, I guess we'll just play a little Opposition Agent. I think we would like to control you and take, how about a Undercity Sewers? Opponent's hand's full of fetches. This might be the turn 1 win. Opponent, Polluted Delta. Can't crack that. Let's play this Surveillant. Yeah, it is pretty nice. Thank you, opponent. We'll get rid of the Dothy. Actually, you know what? It beats down. We'll keep it. At this point, we just want to kill our opponent before they draw non-fetch mana. Hit ya with Oppo Agent. Down to 16. Show us some more fetch lands. Play that Missy. Yes. Think of all the mana you could have. Well, let's play this Chromox. I think we'll just pitch the Dothy and get down the Grief. I'm hoping our opponent does not cast a spell this game. Let's play the Grief. Man, turn 1 Oppo Agent, so brutal in the right matchup. Oh, opponent, would you like to play that Veil of Summer? It'd be so good. Oh, crack that fetch and play your Veil. Opponent does not crack the fetch. Well, no lands in hand. I guess we take the Fatal Push, because in theory, if they draw a single black source, they could kill the Oppo Agent and then get their mana back. Down to 13. Draws and Scalding Tarn. It keeps getting better. Oh, this is the dream. This is the Oppo Agent dream. Play a single card and your opponent cannot play Magic. Oh, it does not get better than this. Protection. Not that we need it, but we might as well. I mean, we need right now this turn and 2 more, so 3 more attacks. 3 more attacks to win the game. If we draw like a Bowmaster or something, it could be 2. Well, just a Dark Rit. Man, Opposition Agent is brutal. It is brutal. Opponent down to 7. Oh, what a game. Can we get one more fetch land? One more fetch land off the top. One more fetch land. Just one. I don't want to be greedy. Just one more. I mean, it's a little matchup dependent. If we run into mono red and they're playing 0 fetches, then Oppo Agent does nothing. But if we run into a deck like this, that's a bunch of colors and a bunch of fetches, oh my god, is a turn 1 Oppo Agent good. I don't know how long they stick this out. I'm surprised they stuck it out this long, opponent. All right, you're gonna pass. Well, wondering, we will take a damage, and Chromox, that's not lethal. Can we draw Bowmasters and finish this off? I don't think it matters either way. Opponent's gonna have to get really lucky. I guess there's a world that they go like Black Source, crack a fetch, Fatal Push, Show and Tell Atraxa. They don't have that many cards in hand though. Yeah, it seems unlikely. Opponent on the clock. Well, those cards do not end the game. Nothing to reanimate. Well, hit you to 1. I mean, I guess once we hit our opponent to 1, that also means they can't crack fetches. Even if they deal with the Oppo agent, they still can't crack them because then they just die. Well, I think that should do it. Would you like to take your beats down to 1 and play the Ancient Tomb, pass the turn? All right, opponent, you need the greatest draw in the history of the game of Magic the Gathering. I don't even know what it could be. At 1 life, there's no way. There's no way. Oppo, well, I mean, that is pretty much how we drew it up. That is the dream. That is literally the dream. Scoops it up and, well, opposition agent, ladies and gentlemen, and not bad. Not bad. Let's just keep doing that. No lands. If we had a land, this hand would be great. I guess we can get down a fairly fast 1 ring, which is something. So, like, put a Thoughtseize to the bottom. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. I mean, we also have the high roll potential if our opponent's playing a bomb. So if we take the frog, I mean, this isn't bad. We take the frog, then we can try to reanimate the frog, and if our opponent wants to counter, they have to sack the Tamiyo. Opponent, Flooded Strand. Ooh, Oppo agent. Would have got him. Oh, would have got him so good. If we had a land in that first hand, I think we just win with how many fetches they have. Opponent, Tamiyo. Sure. Well, let's put them to the test. See if they want to sack that Tamiyo. Reanimate on Psychic Frog. So they can flare it, but they got to sack the Tamiyo. Otherwise, they don't currently have removal. So maybe we can get a frog card or 2. And then worst case next turn, I mean, we kind of hope they do this. If they sack the Tamiyo, that also clears the way for the 1 ring to come down next turn. And 1 ring next turn probably puts us pretty far ahead. All right, opponent lets it go. So we get a frog. We could strip mine. I don't know if that's even good for us. Yeah, let's just play the Ancient Tomb. Pass the turn. I imagine they sack the Tamiyo to counter the ring, which I really want the ring. We don't have that many cards. Opponent. Combat. Tamiyo. Gonna get in. I mean, maybe they brainstorm and flip Tamiyo, and then they don't have a creature for the flare. I guess that's possible. All right, opponent's gonna go for it. All right, opponent not valuing the flare very highly. Well, odds of getting down this 1 ring increasing. Now we do have to deal with the Tamiyo eventually, and Tamiyo is a annoying amount to slog through. Opponent flips the Tamiyo. The fact that it pluses 2 and shrinks your creatures, it's so annoying to kill. Psychic Frog also works if we hit a Planeswalker, which is a nice little bonus. I mean, I guess I could play another Tamiyo and then have Flare on. Opponent gonna crack the... Man, I wish there was an Oppo agent. Those fetches, they're so juicy. Oh, Fatal Push, all right. Well, there goes our frog. I mean, the good news is... Yeah, I guess we play the Urborg. Good news is we should be able to get down the ring, I think. All right. Ring down. Draw a card. Yeah, Grief's not bad. I mean, actually just hardcast Grief next turn. Urborg's nice with Ancient Tomb too, so eventually, and Strip Mine. We're only playing 1, but I almost wonder if we could play more than 1. The only problem is they're legendary, so they're really bad at multiples. The other downside to Urborg is it does let our opponent's fetches make mana, so we need to be conscious of that too. Like, there's some situations where we don't want to play Urborg because we want our opponent's fetches to be locked with Oppo Agent, not just tapping to make black mana. Opponent, gonna take up the Tamiyo. This Tamiyo ultimating would be pretty bad for us. Opponent, Psychic Frog, and another Tamiyo. All right, the power of the ring. Hopefully we find... Okay, Thoughtseize. A Bowmaster would be a good answer to this Tamiyo ultimate. Killing the frog would also be nice. Barrowgoyf, Thoughtseize, Dothy, and we have the Grief. So we have 5 mana technically. So we can full price the Grief into Thoughtseize, clear our opponent's hand. We can go high upside Dothy into Thoughtseize, see if we can steal something. Let's try that. Dothy is also pretty good at chipping in. And then let's just evoke the Grief. I think this is the best. We evoke the Grief, pitch the Thoughtseize, and then we can still play the Barrowgoyf. Psychic Frog in Flare. Wow, didn't want to counter anything. Huh. Yeah, let's take the Flare. Hopefully we can slog through the frogs. This Barrowgoyf's gonna help just because it's kind of big. So get down the 4/5, pass the turn. Dothy also helps with the frog, just keeping cards out of the graveyard so they can't jump it. I mean, they can start taking down Tamiyo, but if they take down Tamiyo, then we don't really have to worry. Opponent, going for it. They're going for it, takes it up. Opponent's going for the ultimate. Psychic Frog number 3, technically. Opponent's drawing a lot of frogs. All right, well, We will take our damage down to 9. Dark Ritual. Well, let's draw some cards. Well, all right. Fatal Push Barrowgoyf, not the worst. Fatal Push Oppo Agent, rather. Still not the worst. Although with the Urborg, they don't really have to crack their fetches. How do we want to do this? So let's play the Strip Mine. Let's Strip Mine their open blue mana. See if this forces our opponent to do anything. Gonna float a black, okay. I mean, if they Fatal Push, if they have another Fatal Push for Barrowgoyf, things get a little bad. All right, opponent, Pump Fakes, floats blue instead. Sure. Opponent, not going to use the mana. Well, all right, chipping at Tamiyo. I was really hoping just to drop Bowmaster. Let's go, yeah. Face and Tamiyo. Opponent going to block the Barrowgoyf. And you can't block the Voidwalker. Shadow is super unblockable. Are you gonna keep? All right, opponent is gonna block the Barrowgoyf. That is fine. So Tamiyo can't ultimate yet. Next turn it probably can. And then let's kill a... Actually, do we just wait? I guess we don't have to do it now. What's the downside? They draw a counter? Yeah, I think we just wait. Barrowgoyf really important with the One Ring. It's one of our ways that we can keep our life total high, even though the One Ring's damaging us. Opponent getting in with the frogs. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna flash in the Oppo Agent, but we will Fatal Push. So opponent's gonna get to draw 1 card. Sure. Opponent draws. We drop to 11. Brains. Man, if we had that Bowmaster would be so good. At some point, our opponent... Ooh, wait. Is there a world where they have to crack the fetch? Oh, 2 fetches. Oh, okay. Well, we gotta play it. They can crack the other one in response, but let's run out the Oppo Agent. So they can crack this one. Why the Oppo Agent's on the stack? I mean, the thing about Oppo Agent is, it's a 3-2 flash anyway. Like, it's not insane above the curve stats, but it's also not bad stats. Like, it's fine. All right. Well, opponent gets a Water Grave untapped. We fizzle number 2. I guess we look through the deck a bit. All right, pretty typical Dimir stuff. Let's take the Mystic Sanctuary just in case. Opponent's got a Treasure Cruise and a Brainstorm. They're not especially close to Treasure Cruising because of the Dothy. Opponent's gonna get back the Fatal Push. Wow, going after the Oppo Agent, not the Barrowghoul. Okay, I mean, we're gonna find with that One Ring. Draw us 4 cards. There's the, oh my goodness, there's the Bowmaster. But our opponent's not gonna ultimate now because they had to take down. So I guess we're just gonna win fairly. Hopefully. Hit ya. Hit the Tamiyo. Get it out of here. Barrowgoyf. Do a little milling. Well, there's another Oppo and another Barrowgoyf. We'll take the Oppo, though. Let's play the Ancient Tomb. And opponent realizes no coming back from that one. I don't even know if we change anything against this deck. That went pretty well, though. Man, the Bowmasters, actually. We need the Bowmasters. Bowmasters in. Maybe go down. What do we bring out? It's tough because everything like seems good in this matchup, but we gotta have the rest of the Bowmasters. Like Dothy shuts down the graveyard. Usually between like Oppo Agent, Dothy, and Void in Bowmasters, one of those is not great in a matchup, but this is the rare matchup where they're all legitimately great. So I guess we just have to trim some of our other stuff. Yeah, let's try it like that. Go down to Reanimate. All right, we're going to be on the play for game number 2, which is a scary place to be in Timeless because a good Timeless draw, kind of like Vintage, you can get super far ahead on turn 1. Well, all right, that's a turn 2 Oppo Agent. On the draw, though. Oh, man. Polluted Delta. Opponent cracking their fetches before we can Oppo them. I wonder if Oppo Agent existing. Well, at least we got a Fatal Push for the Tamiyo. I wonder if Opposition Agent existing is going to force people to play differently with their fetches. Like, eventually it will. People will learn that it's something that you have to play around if it's a, ooh, there's a frog. I guess we just get down a ring then. Chrome Mox. Well, sorry, Oppo Agent. We had other plans for you, but we'll draw more of them, hopefully. Well, Chrome Mox. Agent 2. One ring. On turn 2. If you want to sack your frog to counter it, that's fine. Opponent does not. Well, we do need to be aware that our opponent could have Bowmaster. Ooh, another Oppo Agent. We do need to be aware that our opponent could have Bowmasters. That is a card that could play in their deck. Well, they're gonna flip a Tamiyo. I actually kind of hate that art on that Brainstorm. The like realistic Final Fantasy sheet cards are some of my least favorite from the set, just art wise. They're just like so, I don't know. They just look wrong somehow. I can't even describe why I think they look wrong. They just look wrong to me. The ones that are more like sketches, those ones I like. Hey, opponent, I'm gonna flip the Tamio. Planeswalker time. Oh man, another fetch. Opponent is not going to crack it. All right, no fear. No fear of the Oppo. Well, yeah, let's draw with the ring. Ooh, there's a Bowmasters. That could be very helpful in the future. How do we want to do this? Let's play the land. Let's Thought Seize you. Found it. Ooh, we're gonna discard. Okay, so I had a removal spell for the Oppo agent. And it's a strip mine. Okay. I think we just pass? This does mean getting hit by the frog, but it also means flashing an Oppo agent to get that fetch land, hopefully. We could play another ring. Yeah, let's just pass. Let's just pass. Both Bowmasters and Oppo agent have flash, so we got options. If they strip mine our Ancient Tomb, I'm not sure what we do. We could flash in the Oppo, but then they just crack their fetch in response. Yeah, let's flip the mana. Let's vote the mana, take the damage, just in case. And yeah, let's run out the Bowmasters. I don't think there's any point in playing the Oppo there, because they just crack the fetch in response. Ping the Tamio. The downside of this is it does let our opponent know that they can't be drawing cards. The upside of this is we can use the army to jump the frog, so our opponent doesn't get to draw an extra card. We will army jump. Opponent could have exiled to give it flying, but takes up the Tamio. So our opponent knows, yeah, there's the fetch cracking. So our opponent knows if they're trying to ultimate Tamio, they got to deal with the Bowmasters first. We would kind of like to draw another Bowmasters. Dark Rit. Well, Dark Rit is pretty explosive. Let's One Ring draw. Okay, well, I think it might be our turn to strip mine here. So we can strip mine. This puts our opponent off mana drain mana. Get rid of the Watery Grave. Opponent doesn't even bother to float. Well, 1, 2. So we Dark Ritual, make 3 mana, play a ring to reset the ring, and then we can still Dark Rit out the Oppo agent if our opponent goes to crack a fetch or something, and we get protection for another turn, so we don't have to worry about this frog drawing cards. Well, let's draw with the ring. Kind of want to find another. Hey, okay. Well, there's another Bowmaster. I was gonna say, kind of want to find another Bowmaster because another Bowmaster is gonna be really good if our opponent can get rid of the first one to prevent this Tamio ultimate. Opponent taking up. All right, so Tamio can ultimate next turn if our opponent can get rid of the Bowmaster. Otherwise, they can't do it, and they die. Yeah, let's run out the Oppo. Get a body on the battlefield. Give us a potential attacker. 1 ring. Down to 10. Well, let's draw with the 1 ring. Barrowglyph's good. Dothy's also fine. So we kind of want to keep the Bowmaster as a surprise. Let's play a Chromox. Get rid of the Dothy. This gives us the mana that we can play Barrowglyph and still have up another Bowmaster. Yeah, let's get on the Barrowglyph. Yeah, I don't even think we attack. I think we just pass. And if our opponent like kills the Bowmaster and then tries to Tamio, we just absolutely wreck opponent. Takes up Tamio. All right. I mean, at this point, we might be able to kill the Tamio. Well, 1 ring. Triggers. Thoughtseize. Okay. Not the worst. We do want to gain some life with this Barrowglyph. I think we actually just go face. Like, I think we're okay with Tamio ultimating. We actually kind of want Tamio to ultimate, because if they do, we kind of just win the game with these Bowmasters. Headshot down to 12. We see, this is where the life gain is so nice with the 1 ring. We get, well, I guess the Dothy. We already have an Oppo. Now let's draw with the 1 ring. Well, Fatal Push. Okay, that can get rid of the frog. And let's start with the Thoughtseize. See what our opponent's working with over there. Okay, they're gonna kill the Bowmasters. Oh, they're going for the draw half their deck. Oh, we're gonna get them. Gonna discard to the frog. It's a land. Sure, well, let's Fatal Push the frog. Our opponent, they tried to get in the position to ultimate this Tamio, and it is going to backfire spectacularly. Play the swamp. Play the Dothy. Oh, we could run it. No, it's going to be funnier. We're going to wait. There's some world where they draw a counter here and we get blown out, but waiting until they try to ultimate and flashing again is so good. It literally wins the game unless they top deck mana drain, basically. Thinking about it. Are you going to go for it? Are you going to go for it? Are you going to go for it, Tamio? You got to draw those cards. Ah, opponent, -7, sure. In response, Orcish Bowmasters. And now you may draw half your deck. And we would like half a deck's worth of Bowmaster triggers, please. Well, Tamio's a good card, but turns out Bowmasters is a pretty good answer to that card. An opponent scoops it up and... All right, not bad. Well, yes, we would like to play first. And this hand... I mean, turn 1 Thoughtseize, and we got Fatal Push. A little bit awkward with 2 rings in the Chrome Mox, but I don't think we ship this. So this isn't like turn 1 Oppo or anything, but it seems okay. We can pick our opponent's hand apart a bit. The rings could be good eventually. Well, let's play a Swamp and Thoughtseize you. Fury, Pyrogoy, Fury, Chrome Mox. Their 1 land is Strip Mine, which is actually kind of awkward here. Well, I think we just take the Chrome Mox. No reason to grief at the moment, I don't think. I mean, now if they want to strip mine, they can, but it's very hard to do because if you strip mine, you don't have any lands. I think we got to work towards this ring at some point, but there's probably no reason to play the Chrome Mox here. They're a red deck, so it's not like they can Thoughtseize us. So I think, ooh, that's a big draw. Oh, they might be playing our deck. Yeah, now our opponent feels safe enough to strip mine. Yeah, seeing the Great Furnace in there makes me think this is our build of Mono Red Prison. Well, let's play the Chrome Mox. Exile a Grief. Pass the turn. So this at least lets us leave Fatal Push up. Not that it's likely to do much. Opponent passes. Reanimate. Well, okay. I think this makes it worth doing the Grief Scam thing. Let's pitch the Fatal Push. See what our opponent drew over the last couple of turns. Chalice, Karn, Fury. We're just going to take the Karn. I don't want to deal with Karn. And then I think we're just going to reanimate. We're just going to reanimate the Grief. And snipe a Pyrogoyf. So if our opponent wants to pitch Fury to kill Grief, we will accept that. Opponent draws and passes. We draw a Fatal Push. It would be nice. Man, Ancient Tomb would be the best draw. Ancient Tomb is like literally a game-winning draw. Now we're going to play the Chrome Mox. Get rid of the Fatal Push. If we draw Ancient Tomb, we suddenly can play the 1 ring, and that should hit us all of our lands, and then we're actually in business. And opponent, all right, strip mine. Well, now drawing other lands is not as good. Opponent, Chalice on 1, and I know I've said this before. Wow, they are going to pitch Fury. Timeless, I think, is just my favorite format to play right now. I know not everyone likes it because it's so many Fatal Pushes. It's so prison-y and like land destruction-y and just like degenerate, but man, I love this. Seeing a game of Magic where we have 0 lands and we're like strip mining each other and chalicing each other. Oh, it's my favorite way to play Magic. Another strip mine. It really is my favorite way to play Magic. Like, I just love it. And we haven't had a format like this in my lifetime. Oh, yeah, Chalice. In my lifetime, like, strip mines banned everywhere or restricted everywhere. And they don't put land destruction in. I mean, we don't even have a land destruction deck in Modern, really. I'll get and hit you down to 14. I mean, we've played some prison decks in Modern, but it's not insane. Yeah, I think we might be losing this one because the battle here is really about resources. And our opponent's done a much better job. I mean, we started off equal, right? Where we each had not much mana, but our opponent's drawn lands and we have not drawn lands. And then they found a Fable, which makes treasures. Yeah, and there's a 1 ring, and that is probably the death of us. I think this was really a race to the ring, and now that our opponent has a ring and we do not have a ring, yeah, no point in even attacking. All right, we'll just pass. Found it. Takes 1 from the ring. Fable gonna flip. I didn't think Chalice was very good against us, but Chalice is kind of getting us here. Really, not having any lands is getting us here, but part of that is our opponent. They did have a strip mine. They have 2 more on the battlefield, so they have plenty of answers to lands, but it's also that we just have not drawn them. Opponent, MDFC, and... Oh, all right, gonna kill the Dothy. Well, opponent hits us down to 10. Oh, we gotta draw Ancient Tomb like this turn. There's a Bone Crusher. Yeah, that's a clock. We have like one draw, and it's a Strip Mine. And yeah, that is not going to do it. Well, opponent won the resource battle that game. I don't know if we change. I mean, Disruptor Flute stops Karn. Graveyard doesn't really matter. We can, I mean, there's stuff we can trim, right? We want the Shieldred's Edicts, I think, because they can get rid of the big threats. Maybe keep the a couple Fatal Pushes. The Disruptor Flute could be worth it. And I guess we just go down. We got to go down the Oppo Agents. Go up the, Bowmasters. Run it like that. So even though we are an Oppo Agent deck, it is a card where there's just some matchups where it doesn't do anything. So, and this is one of them. Our opponent's not playing fetches. They're not tutoring. So it just doesn't do anything in this matchup. So it feels bad to cut out the card to sideboard out the card we're built around. But I think we ship this one. It just doesn't. Ooh, okay. I mean, this hand has a literal turn 1 ring. Is that enough? Well, that's Chromox. Pitch a Dothy. Play the Swamp. Dark Ritual. 4 mana. Turn 1 ring. And now I think we spin and see if we draw a black card, because we might still just grief here. Shieldred's Edict. You know what? Good enough. Let's just quite literally empty our hand on turn 1. 0 cards in hand. Grief ya. See what we're working with. Chalice. Opal. MDFCs for days. I guess Chalice? Chalice on 1 is annoying. Yeah, I guess we'll take it. Our opponent's hand is not especially threatening at the moment. Although our hand does not exist, so thankfully we do have the ring, but opponent Mox Opal. Strip Mine. Gonna Strip Mine the Swamp. Sure. Well, take a little ring. Ooh, Reanimate. Reanimate's actually not bad. My god, we did not draw land. Well, let's reanimate this Grief. Be nice if our opponent drew like a Pyroglyph or something. Magus of the Moon. Okay. I mean, we will take the Magus. I was hoping they drew something that was worth reanimating, and Magus is not. Opponent, Ancient Tomb, man. Passing. Well, 1 ring. How are we doing so badly at drawing mana? All right. 1 ring. No way. Well, I guess we grieve. Pitch one of these many Barrowglyphs. Come on, opponent. Have something good in hand for once in your dang life. Fury, okay. Fury's not that good. I mean, I'm glad it's out of the hand, so it's not ruining our day. Man, I can't believe we did not hit lands. We've drawn so many cards, and we are just not hitting lands. I feel like we might be able to get more value out of this reanimate later. Fable of the Meowbreaker. Sure, opponent passes. We drop to 10. We draw Thoughtseize. Well, let's... Okay. Draw some cards. There's lands. There's a bunch of Ancient Tombs. We are getting a wee bit low on life, though. We're going to have to get down a Barrowglyph now-ish to try to gain back a bit of life. So we can Dark Ritual, make 3 mana. We can also just play another ring. Yeah, I guess this is pretty good. We can play another ring, reset the rings, get protection for the turn. And then do we want to Thoughtseize and take Sundering Eruption? Probably not. I mean, we will get in and hit you. Down to 12. What a weird way for this game to go. It's so odd. Opponent, Fable the Meowbreaker, you're going to discard the MDFCs, draw a couple cards. And, yeah, you get in and make your treasure. Sure. Opponent, Ancient Tomb. Well, we're going to go back to drawing. No fear. Oh, no. I mean, we wanted to draw lands. We didn't necessarily want them all to be Ancient Tombs. Save us Barrowglyph, I guess. The problem is we're getting low enough that a Pyroglyph just gets us. So we really got to get some life gain going. Get in, hit ya. Play the Ancient Tomb. Pass the turn. I mean, that is a concern, right? Like, a Pyroglyph off the top will deal 5 damage. Yeah, if you want to Strip Mine some Ancient Tombs, that's fine. We're to the point where we're probably not going to be tapping them anyway, unless we find an Urborg. The Barrowglyph can gain us back life. Opponent's actually think, okay, gonna strip mine. Hey, we will take that as a win. We do not have enough life to really use those ancient tombs anyway. We are going to, man, they shouldn't have bolt, right? Because they're playing chalice, disruptor flute, and a bowmaster. Well, I was really hoping to just hit some honest black mana. There's some argument for attacking with bolt. Man, opponent takes it. All right, maybe we should have attacked with both. If we had attacked with both, we could have potentially got him with a bowmaster. Maybe it was too conservative. Now let's grieve. Pitch one of these thought seizes that we can't really cast. Make sure our opponent does not have lethal in hand. Take the Sundering Eruption. Yeah, let's just play another Barrow-goyf. So we're at 6. If we strip mine an red source... they still have the treasure, though. The treasure from that Fable still gives them the mana. One-shot mana, but... All right, please just don't draw Pyrogoyf. Please, just one time, not top decking Pyrogoyf. Attacks, okay. Oh, they did have to attack because they have double Ancient Tomb, too. Did they actually top deck it? Oh, they did have to get in and gain us life. No. No. We go up to 11. Did they actually just top deck Pyrogoyf? No. If they do, they win because they have the, yeah, they have the reflection, so they can double up, and then we have the ring damage. Man, oh, wow. Well, you got us. I kind of feeling now like I punted it. I kind of feel like we might have punted it. Maybe. This hand has turn 1 opposition agent, though. I think it might have been a punt to not attack with the grief. I think that's what I have as the punt. Pass the turn. We have the turn 1 opposition agent. Opponent, how about a fetch land? Oh, come on now. Come on now, opponent. Mono black. That means no fetches. Opponent's gonna grief scam. Guess we can dark writ out the Oppo agent? Yeah, I mean, well, let's run out the Oppo agent. I honestly don't know. Without knowing more about our opponent's deck, I don't know if Oppo Agent or Bowmasters is better. Seeing the MDFC makes me think Mono Black, most likely. If they're doing Necro Dominance things, then we're going to wish we had the Bowmaster opponent, Dark Ritual, and Necro Dominance things. Kind of wish we had the Bowmaster. Opponent, Necros down to 7. That's a lot of cards to draw in turn 1. So opponent's going to have to discard down to 5. They don't get to draw for their turn. I mean, they are low. This is going to be a very quick match. If they're trying to do stormy things like beseech the mirror loops, then Oppo Agent actually does shut that down, even if it isn't going to hit Fetchlands against Mono Black, most likely. So maybe it shuts down like a Demonic Tutor or something. Definitely would have been nice to have the Bowmaster down, though. The Bowmaster would have stopped our opponent from being able to do the Necro stuff. Or, I got to stop saying that, because you never know with Timeless opponents. After that Brainstorm opponent that just kept firing Brainstorms into the Bowmasters, I don't want to say you can't Necro into a Bowmaster. It is perfectly legal to do it. Opponent. All right, discards a ton of cards. We draw, well, I guess our hope is that this throws off our opponent's plans. Strip mine your 1 mana source. I mean, they can't really draw with Necro again. They don't get to draw for their turn again. So they need to win the game with those 4 cards, essentially. Are we going to watch a Necro backfire? Opponent, if you draw more, you die to the Oppo Agent, and you don't get to draw for your turn. Did our opponent just turn... turn 1 Necro Dominance, draw 13, and die? Well, we're going to bring in more Bowmasters. We know we want the Bowmasters. We might actually... No, I think Oppo Agent is good in this matchup. Because there's a Besiege. It is like a stormy Necro deck. So the Oppo Agent's actually pretty good. Fatal Pushes, I think, are probably the easiest to cut. Bring in the Shouldered Edicts and... Ooh, all right. I mean, we got the Oppo. Technically turn 1 with the Chrome Mox, so we can turn 1 it. Although, in this matchup, we're not going to be denying lands, most likely. It's going to be more shutting off the combo. Opponent goes to 6. All right, here comes the Grief Scam. Well, our opponent probably has to take Reanimate. Because if they don't take Reanimate, unless they have, like, Mox Reanimate, but if they don't take Reanimate, we just Reanimate their Grief. And then they don't have much going on. So I think, yeah, opponent's got to take the Reanimate. This does mean they know about everything. Well, let's play the Chromox. I think we just get rid of the Dothy. And I think we can get down... I think we can get down the Barrogoyf here. Like, worst case, I don't think they're winning this turn. Their best play is probably ramp out a Necro of some kind, draw a bunch of cards. Well, there's a Chromox. Try to win the next turn. Opponent, yeah, down to 1 card in hand. Is it a Necro? Okay, original Necro. Sure. This one's actually better against Bowmasters, which is kind of funny, because you're not technically drawing cards. Well, we will see. Opponent going to have a lot of cards in hand. How low do we go? How low do we go? Down to 10. Are we going? Down to 9. Are we going? Down to 8. Come on. More. All right, opponent's going to stop there. So opponent going to pay down to 8. Going to draw a ton of cards. Going to discard some to hand size. Well, at least with OG Necro, from our opponent's perspective, they do get to keep a 7-card hand. There's no 5-card restriction. Sure, opponent. Gonna figure out what they want to keep, and then I guess, I mean, so we can hit him with Barrogoyf, and then we can run out the Oppo Agent to try to shut down the combo loops, and that's what we got. Our opponent's got a lot of cards, though. We'll see. Opponent discards a bunch of lands, discards a Necro, temporarily grows the Barrogoyf, but they're all gonna go to exile, so it doesn't actually grow the Goyf. All right, we find, ooh, a Dark Ritual. Well, okay. Hit you with the Barrogoyf. See if we can draw in the Dark Ritual. Could be relevant. It could be. See if we can hit something off this Barrogoyf. So our opponent knows that we have the Oppo Agent. So they're not going to try to do their Storm Loop until they deal with Oppo Agent, right? Because they know it fizzles it. But there is a world where we could make our opponent think we can't cast Oppo Agent and then use the Dark Ritual. Oh, Barrogoyf. Wait, that does exactly it, right? We hold on to the Dark Writ, play the Barrogoyf. Oh, this might give us a shot to really get him. Because now our opponent does not know about the Dark Ritual. So there's 2 things in their head. One is, while you're bad at Magic, you're going to let us storm off. You don't know what we're doing. The other is, you drew a Dark Ritual. Let's see what our opponent thinks. Let's see how much credit they give us. Do they think we're dumb enough to not leave up the Oppo Agent and just die to Storm? All right, Chromox, sure. Oh, this might be glorious. Oh, it might be so good. Found it. Okay. Just, doesn't even exile, just upping the storm count. Oh. Besiege the Mirror. Well, okay. Dark Ritual. And surprise, Oppo Agent. Wow, that worked out so perfectly. The fact that we found the Barrogoyf let us disguise that we had the mana to cast the Oppo Agent, which let our opponent go for the Storm combo. And then Oppo Agent just ends him. Just straight up ends him. So good. And it looks like we're on the draw. This hand, if only we had a black source instead of the strip mine, this hand would be great. All right, well, we found an Oppo Agent. I guess we just put Dothy to the bottom in the dark. I mean, we can turn 2 Oppo Agent. Yariane. Abrew Grazer. But no land. Okay. Oh my, if they're playing Flares, this is the Oppo Agent dream. This is literally the dream. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it down yet. Well, that's Thoughtseize. Let's see what's going on with this green deck. Wow, okay. The Great Henge and a bunch of weird alchemy ramp spells. Awkwardly, all the spells that seek a land don't actually care about Oppo Agent. Well, we're gonna take the Great Henge because that card's kind of busted. Pass the turn. Well, this is going to be interesting. I feel like Oppo Agent's still going to be good. Although our opponent also accidentally has a bunch of ramp spells that get around Oppo Agent thanks to the seek mechanic. All right, so whenever our opponent plays a creature, they seek a land. Oh, opponent. I mean, the ramp creature does actually old school ramp out a land. So Oppo Agent gets that one. Well, Cliff Top lookout. Yeah, it's double ramp. And Oppo Agent does not stop either. Yeah, about it. Going to get a fetch. We might just run out the Oppo Agent. We might just run it out. Opponent, Lair the Hydra. Yeah, I think we just got to run it out. Well, no element of surprise. The strip mine is probably going to be relevant at some point. Even just because of that Lair of the Hydra. Well, let's play the strip mine, and I think we just get down the 1/1 ring. Get a little protection, start around some cards. Another Dothy. Do we want to do any grief stuff? Probably not. Yeah, let's just pass. How about searching your library a little bit? Crack. Oh, I was gonna say crack that fetch jokingly, but then they just cracked that fetch. Okay, we will take. How about a surveil land that makes black mana? Thank you, opponent. We didn't have a land drop for next turn. I don't think our opponent read Oppo Agent, or they just forgot something. Bristlyville. Okay. I mean, we're probably gonna have to fatal push that. Seeks out another land. We probably do gotta fatal push that because that is gonna grow with all the lands coming into play. I have not seen a deck like this before in Timeless. I do not know. It's just like ramp, opponent. Strip mine. Triggers Bristlyville. Grows a frog. I mean, they can strip mine the Ancient Tomb, I guess. Wow, gonna go Black Source. Okay. All right. I mean, that does temporarily take us off black mana. But opponent's down to 2 cards. Opponent's down to 1 card. Gonna seek another land. Ooh, it's a fetch. Okay. So it triggers Bristlyville. But it's another fetch that, again, I almost said can't crack. Shouldn't. Let's go with shouldn't crack. Oh, okay. Chromox works. Was hoping to some black mana. Chromox, it gets us there. It gets us there in its own way. Well, exile the Dothy. I don't even think it's worth grief scamming here because we kind of are fine with them playing. Oh, do we want Barrowgoyf? Yeah, I think we go. Man, let's keep it, I think. The life gain with the ring is probably going to be necessary. So I think we just fatal push the Bristlyville. Pass the turn. Want to crack that fetch? Forceful Cultivator. Forceful Cultivator, its wording is not a may. So they have to search for a basic land, which means we get to search for a basic land. And we will take your forest. Thank you very much. Our opponent's doing a great job of making sure we hit our land drops. Kami of Bamboo Growth. They have so many weird ram spells in this deck. Well, let's get rid of this Lair of the Hydra. That is going to become a problem in the future. Opponent gonna conjure up a couple of forests. Plays a forest. Does not attack with the frog. Interesting. Well, there's all of our Barrowgoyfs. Can we draw some black mana, please? I mean, we have the forest for sure. Wow. It is a good thing we're stealing lands because we are not doing a good job of hitting land drops. How do we do this? So we can get down a Barrowgoyf. There's not really any reason to grief scam. We can reanimate a Bristlyville. I guess we should have done that earlier before we played the land drop, technically. Kami puts a land into play from your hand. We don't have any lands. Yeah, I guess we just take a Bristlyville. Not the most exciting reanimate target, but it grows a Barrowgoyf. Maybe, if we hit some lands. Well, let's pass the turn. See what our opponent does. Opponent untaps and draws. And there's a forest. And another one. Okay, opponent making sure we hit our land drops. Forceful Cultivator. They get to seek a land, but we get to steal another. We now have way more of our opponent's lands than our lands. Opponent grabs their Yarion. Well, we're probably going to have to grief that. 1 ring. Down to 4 for now. Ooh, Urborg's nice. Well, let's draw with the ring. Okay, there's all the mana. So we definitely need to grief the Yarion. Let's play the Chromox. Get rid of one of the 2 griefs. We don't need 2 griefs here. Let's just play a swamp. Trigger Bristlyville. Because we've stolen lands, we can actually double the counters with Bristlyville too. I don't think it's going to be necessary, but get in with the Barrowgoyf. Gain back a wee bit of life. Wow, opponent going to kill it? All right, opponent's going to block. I mean, this kind of works fine for us, though. Because we do have Death Touch. So we just get to wipe their board, and we go back up to 9 or 10. And then we play another Barrowgoyf. We got to get rid of Yarion. Actually, Yarion doesn't even do that much, but I still feel like we should get rid of Yarion. Let's Dark Ritual, full price grief, get rid of the Yarion, and opponent doesn't even wait around, scoops it up, and what a weird matchup. I think we did a pretty good job of taxing lands, but in that matchup somehow, stealing lands was actually the most important part of the Oppo Agent. Well, run it back. All right, on to game 2, we are going to be on the draw for this one. It's a turn 1 ring hand. Hard to pass up a turn 1/1 ring. Oh, look at that juicy fetch. Look at that juicy fetch. Well, let's get down the ring, see if we can find an Oppo agent. Chrome box. Exile the Fatal Push. And play the Ancient Tomb. Dark Ritual. Alright, opponents learned. They've learned about Opposition Agent preemptively cracking their fetch. Although, honestly, they didn't crack it that preemptively because we could have just Ancient Tombed out the, the Oppo agent. But let's play the One Ring. It's not bad. Crop rotation. Okay. What land could be good enough to crop rotate into on turn 1? Strip Mine. Okay. Sure. I mean, we have a pretty land-heavy hand this game, and we got the Chrome box. So if our opponent wants to trade lands 1 for 1, I think we're okay with that for now. And I mean, I guess we have the mana to Thoughtseize, so might as well. That was a good draw. Crop rotation. If they didn't crop rotate, they could have Veiled to Summered. Well, I think we take the thing that seeks a land. We don't actually care that much about Veil of Summer, I don't think. And crop rotation, man, their deck gets got hard by Oppo Agent. Lair of the Hydra, sure. All right, they drew what we thought. See, seeking a land, putting it into play. Come on, it's a fetch land. Can we draw an Oppo? Can we draw an Oppo? Can we draw an Oppo? Oh, oh. Well, I think we just do this now. Opponent. Nice Lair of the Hydra. How does the rest of your deck feel at the moment? Well, it wasn't a turn 1 Opposition Agent, but turn 2, good enough. And this deck was pretty brutal. So what do we learn this week about our turn 1 Opposition Agent deck in Timeless? And record-wise, we went 12-10 with the deck. I played a ton of matches with this deck because I actually just think it's kind of fun. So we went 12-10 overall for a 55% win percentage, which, pretty solid. I mean, a winning record, gonna rank up eventually. As far as Opposition Agent itself, we got to see it be hilariously effective and then also just straight up sideboarded out in some matchups. It really is a matchup dependent card, right? If we're playing against a deck with a bunch of fetches or like the Storm deck that's chaining together Beseech the Mirrors to try to combo off, then Opposition Agent is literally the best card in our entire deck. And we got to see that in some of our games. We got to see the turn 1 Opposition Agent against the opponent that ended up just having 4 fetches in hand and literally ended the game without casting a single spell because they just couldn't make any mana. We got to see Opposition Agent come down and wreck the Storm player trying to combo off with Beseech the Mirror. But we also got to see, like, playing against Mono Red Prison, we just sideboard out Opposition Agent because they don't have any fetches, they don't have anything that's searching their library, so it is a little bit hit or miss, but the big power of Opposition Agent is even when it's a miss, it's not that bad, right? It's still a 3-2 with Flash, which is not an absurd body or anything, but it's a fine body. You can flash it in, get around counter spells, start chipping in for damage or pressure planeswalkers, so it is a really powerful card. The rest of the deck, it works pretty well in Timeless. Like, the Grief Scammy stuff gives us the chance to keep up against the unfair decks. Barrowgoyf really impressed me. Barrowgoyf, every time I play it, I'm like, man, this card is so good. And once again, it was super good in this deck, just generating value, but most importantly, giving us back life. Our deck does spend a lot of life between our Ancient Tombs and our One Rings and our Thoughtseizes. We are hurting ourselves. Reanimate too. We're hurting ourselves quite a bit. So having a Barrowgoyf is just this like 5-6 lifelink or whatever by the time it comes down, just to gain back some of that life is a really big deal for the deck. So all around, I really like this deck. It has a bit of that like prison feel to it. An Opposition Agent, I think worst case, should be a really good sideboard card in Timeless. I don't know if you actually need to build an entire deck around it, because like I said, I'd say like maybe half of matchups, it's insane. And the other half of matchups, those are the matchups where it's still a 3-2 with Flash, but it's not really hitting on our opponent's theme all that much. It's not really specifically hating on their deck. So I think worst case, Opposition Agent, I think is going to be an all-star sideboard card in Timeless, because it's just so good against the multicolor decks, so good against the Storm decks, really powerful there. Maybe it ends up being a main deck card in some number. We'll have to wait and see. But I feel like the entire package of the deck actually felt really strong. wrong. So if you're looking for something a little bit different to play in Timeless, and you like wrecking your opponent, but tired of playing the Blood Moons, tired of strip mining, although I guess we're also strip mining in this deck because it's Timeless. That's what you do with Timeless. But if you're looking for something a little bit different, keep Opposition Agent in mind because, good lord, can it get some people. So anyway, that's turn 1 Opposition Agent. That's been our deck for today. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.